Hello, everybody, and welcome to another special My Music. I started doing these the other week with a young lady called Charlotte, who, if you'd watched Channel 4's Virgin Island, you would have seen that there were a group of young people taken off to this beautiful island for a special experience, shall we say. And I've got the second of those young people on today, Thomas Lewis. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, Graham. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And I felt there was an opportunity here, right? Because you go to this island, and let's face it, one of the best ways you survive any kind of experience in life is to have music. So I wondered what kind of music you might have been listening to, or what kind of music you listen to just to chill. So I thought, let's do a very special kind of Virgin Island, desert island disc type thing. And there you go. And the lovely people at Channel 4 seem to be quite happy with us doing it. So thank you so much for coming on. We will be back to talk to Thomas straight after this little bit of music.
Keep on, don't stop.
Now, Thomas, thank you. What I want to know in terms of your experience on the island is, where did all of that makeup come from? Did you take that makeup for yourself, or did you steal that from the girls?
So the makeup. So I think I wore makeup twice on the show.
Right. Well, it may seem more than that.
Yeah, it's like the times you see me, I'm just wearing it. So, I think the first time Channel 4 gave it to us as a group, it was meant to be for like all the men to put on makeup to see how they feel as such, because it's a bit different for them. Some took to it more than others, let's say. I don't think Ben was particularly happy with the makeup, but it was quite funny watching him. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I had Louise do my makeup, as well as Pia helped out as well. Even Jason, to an extent, he tried to do my lipstick for me, which was which doesn't quite get shown because let's just say it's not the perfect match.
You ended up looking a bit Robert Smith type thing.
Exactly. And then the second time was during the finale of the show, where we do our little like goodbye speeches. Just before that, it doesn't get shown, but I had a session with both Kat and Andre, who we basically took turns doing each other's makeup.
Because Andre wears a bit of the old eyeshadow and stuff, doesn't he? Yeah,
exactly. So we did each other. So I'm partially responsible for Andre, but I will say Kat did most of the heavy lifting.
I love it. Yeah, quite like a bit of makeup. I mean, I don't tend to wear it these days, but back in my days of being in the band, I used to wear makeup all the time. It's great.
It's great. I find it empowering, to be fair. Yeah, I just love it. It's like, I know, especially I guess like when you're performing as well, it's kind of like it's part of the outfit, part of the costume as such, so to speak. Gets you into it.
I must admit, there were times when, because I was based up in Sunderland, which is certainly was at the time, quite a sort of working men's type area and whatever. And there were times when I'd be playing a gig the night before, and I just, and it got to we got in at sort of 2:00 in the morning, and then I'd be up early the next day, and I got on the bus to cross Sunderland, and I would be sitting there wondering why people were looking at me. But I forget that I got all my makeup on and the colour in my hair and everything else, and it'd be like, that might be. You look in the mirror and you go, that might have been that.
I've had a few occasions like that, to be fair. I just think they're all jealous, to be fair, thinking, why can't I pull this off?
Little tip for you: never grow your hair and then braid it and bead it.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind,
because it just doesn't go with a good night out at a club. Literally, one morning I woke up and I honestly couldn't remember the night before. Honestly, thought I'd been punched in the face. and all bruised round here. And all it was I was doing this all night. And these beads have been hitting me, and I just ended up bruised from all these little beads hitting me. So
I'm feeling bruised opposite. Is
no,
at the moment.
If you're going to do that, folks, tie your hair up and put it in a bun or whatever. Sounds fun. What was for you? What was the most sort of difficult thing about being on the island with a group of strangers?
Oh, to be fair, I don't think I had really any problems with the strangers, so to speak. They were actually like a really lovely group of people. We all kind of had our, whilst maybe had different issues, at its core, it was kind of the same thing. We all struggled with intimacy.
Yeah.
I think the thing I struggle with the most is probably the therapy itself, because therapy is meant to be hard. You've got to work through a lot of things as such.
Yeah.
I think what I struggle with more in that side is perhaps not even the physical stuff, really. I think I was not as shocked when we saw the wall push. I think people. I think for me, it was when it got like emotional and like you had to delve deep into yourself and discover like who you are as a person. That's when it's like, because you see me crying with Kat at one point where I talk about like my identity and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
I felt yours was I don't know whether you've sensed this from like the community on looking at the whole thing, because afterwards, I mean, presumably this was shot some time ago, and then it takes a little while for it to get out and pass the edits and all of that sort of thing. But when people started watching it, I mean, have you been pleasantly surprised by like people's comments and support and whatever? Because your journey I think for most people watching it was a really beautiful one in terms of kind of like awakening and feeling comfortable in your own skin and yeah.
To be fair, I've been pleasantly surprised by the responses. I mean, before the show aired, we were all a little bit kind of nervous. You don't know how people are going to react to these sort of things. So like we have weekly calls where we all kind of say, how do you think people are going to react to this or this? We didn't know what was in the show.
You overthought it.
Yeah, exactly. So but when the show finally aired and then it got to like my episode, so to speak, I was kind of like happy with how people responded for the most part. I mean, ignore Twitter, X now, sorry. That's that. But everywhere else, absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
And I've been getting quite a few people come up to me and saying, "Oh, your story was really powerful. It really inspired me." One person like said it helped them come out themselves, which I thought was really lovely to hear. To be fair, because what I wanted from this show is all the therapy, but also to show other people that you're not alone if you have these sort of similar feelings. And by looks of things, feels like that worked.
Have you been inspired yourself to think about your future and what job you might do, what purpose you might put out into the world?
I'm currently finishing up my master's in Manchester in screenwriting at the moment. Thank you. So yeah, it's definitely something I want to pursue further. Doing screenwriting. I've written so far 2 short films, a TV pilot, and currently working on a feature film. And so I'll be trying to pitch them. But more realistically, I'm probably going to have to start off as a script editor or a script consultant. Basically, I just read the script and then pass it on to the next person. Build bridges that way.
Did you find yourself popping off behind the camera from time to time while you were there and just like talking to people about tech stuff?
I was just like watching them basically a lot of the time.
You were just like, I'm seeing that what you're doing there.
I just found it fascinating actually being on this big project and just seeing how it works behind the scenes. I'd never been on like a live set like that before. So that was a really cool experience.
I don't think people realise how many people might be wandering around.
There's so many, basically. There's like 12 of us on camera, but behind the scenes, there's like double that in that one area.
I honestly believe that people watching sort of reality TV think it's like the group of people that are taking part and like one cameraman.
Yeah. No, you're surrounded at points. It's like a whole circle.
Yeah. Did you see any of them looking slightly embarrassed or slightly, or like feeling unsure about what they were watching or not.
They did say that they weren't used to filming this kind of stuff.
There you go.
Especially when it got perhaps a little bit more intimate, like exposing as such. Though there were times where I'd be struggling as well. And I speak to them after and say, you know what, we'd be just as uncomfortable in that situation. So fair play to you.
Yeah. Because for them, it may seem quite voyeuristic and whatever. Yeah. No, fair play. Perhaps some of them have gone for therapy afterwards. Who knows? Could have been great thing. Now you've just got back from Glastonbury. How was that for you?
Glastonbury was incredible. I absolutely loved it. Second time going, went with more people this time and had an absolute blast. I got to see Lewis Capaldi finish his set, which was that was because last time I went was 2023 and I watched it happen as such.
Oh, you did, right?
Yeah, I was there for when someone you loved and the whole crowd started singing it, and that was an emotional moment. But what was more emotional was watching him come back to the stage 2 years later and perform his hits, and just everyone around me. There wasn't a dry eye. That was pretty special. And saw plenty of other acts as well. Sunday, I spent the entire day at the front at the barrier of Pyramid Stage.
I know. I was following you on Instagram. Very jealous, but I loved your little Instagram share in the morning. It's like, I'm here now and I've got to stay here for the rest of the day.
No toilet breaks whatsoever.
No. Were people like bringing you food and stuff, or did you take it with you? Or
luckily there's a co-op on site, so what I did in the morning, I went to basically buy a meal deal and 2 drinks, and then I just
eat it out.
Exactly. So but it was kind of like I had to ration myself, like, because you don't want to have it all initially and then you need the toilet.
It's like a quarter of a sandwich. Yeah. Exactly. Tiny sip of drink. Oh, wonderful. So, apart from Lewis, favourite acts of Glastonbury quickly? I know you put them out on social.
Yeah, Lewis is number one. And then I'd say Charlie XCX was incredible. I was in the middle of the crowd for that one, and that was like it was a party atmosphere, really. And then I would say Nile Rodgers and Chic, who I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much as I did, but I didn't realise how many hits they had.
Do you know what? And they are one of the hardest working bands in history. I've been to so many festivals over the years, and they're always there. They seem to be at every single festival playing. You know, it's just incredible. It's almost like if you, I'm pretty certain that any festival organizer, they go, oh, we don't actually need to book that slot because Niles will do it.
Give a quick call.
Quick call. Niles, are you free? Yeah, I'll do it. I'm down. And they're because they're so well rehearsed and they've done it so many times, it's just spot on. No, I really enjoyed watching it on the TV as well. One of my favorites for me as well, watching it on the TV, was Ezra Collective.
Oh, yeah.
And just from the point of the fact that they were promoting youth clubs and youth work, and the fact that how important that was in them coming together, and how, without getting too political, the government and councils and whatever really do need to support kind of youth work and supporting young people and keeping them off the streets and giving them purpose and stuff. And what was beautiful was their final song, which is obviously normally a famous guest vocalist. They brought in a girl from a youth club to sing it, and it was
that's incredible. It really drives the message home.
Yeah, it really did, and she absolutely knocked it out of the park. So fantastic. But listen, you picked a nice little playlist for us, okay? And the first one, and by the way, you can play along at home if you're listening. We're adding these songs on Spotify next to the podcast, so you just literally a click away, and then you can listen to the song. So the first song that you've picked is a Coldplay song, The Scientist, but you've picked the Glee cast version of it. So why this song?
So I'm one of those people who, when a song comes on the radio, I'll turn to the person next to me and say, hey, they covered this on Glee. Because I would say Glee was like my gateway into a lot of music. It's like a lot of people were talking about it, so I'll check this show out. And I discovered a lot of songs that way. And I would check out the original sometimes afterwards. But this particular version of The Scientist, I do like the Coldplay version, but I would listen to the Glee cast version a lot growing up. Because from a young age, I always wanted like be in a relationship and find love and all that. And I don't know, you just see all of them, like this is the culmination of like a lot of their relationships at this point. It's like series 4, I think this one happens in. And I don't know, so it was very impactful in that regard. And I don't know, just the way this song builds in particular.
I was going to say, it's got a massive build right in the middle of it.
Yeah, because you start off with Finn, played by Corey Monteith, and then I think it's Antana and Blaine, or perhaps swap two. And then you see them in their couples, effectively. And then basically at the climax of the song, you have Leah Michelle's Rachel come in and like absolutely belt it out. And I don't know, it's gave me goosebumps. Anytime someone says, can you recommend a Glee cover? I always recommend The Scientist.
So this is the ultimate relationship song for you then, in a way?
In a way, yeah. But also, like, this is them kind of like breaking up a lot of them as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, there's something about the song which just like speaks to me, even though when I was watching it, very much single, hadn't been in a relationship, and yeah, I don't know, it still spoke to me.
It's a very jolly cover of the song as well, isn't it? As well, it's got a it's got a gleefulness about it, which is wonderful. Right, the second song is as a song that not so many people will have heard of, maybe, which is "Love You So Bad" by Ezra Furman. I love the vocal on this. What is it about this song that you love so much?
So this one I absolutely love because I discovered it through a show called Sex Education. Ezra Furman does a lot of the music for Sex Education. But she released it before. I think this came in 2018, I want to say. With Trans and Angelic Exodus, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know, it just, for some reason, it felt like a song from my childhood when I heard it for the first time. I don't know, it just reminded me of that. And the lyrics kind of spoke to me, especially because I kind of discovered it when I was going up to university, and like you have a whole bit in there where you go, somehow you got yourself into college, get away. I've basically talked about getting away from this sort of like town, this small place, to do like bigger things as such. And I was very much in the mindset of I needed to leave my hometown at that point and just try and make a life for myself elsewhere. So that really spoke to me. I don't know, it's also a song when I'm a little bit tipsy, let's say, it's one of the few songs I feel like I can sing along to. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I'm like that, I think, oh no, I can sing. No, I can sing this.
It's got almost that kind of busky. By busky, I mean like it's busked, out in the streets type of feel to it. In terms of that, I mean, vocally, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Violet Femmes as well, and it's got a kind of playfulness in the vocals, and the way it's written. I know what you mean as well in terms of like stylistically, it's kind of almost set in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's almost fitting for it. Then ended up on Sex Education as well as like a lot of her other songs, because that's all. It's basically lives in a weird world where it's kind of like a culmination of the 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties, and 2010s, all living like their fashion choices and all that. Yeah,
lovely song. We're going to go on to a massive from that. We're going to go on to a massive song that probably absolutely everybody knows, and every cover band in the country. Who do all sort of rock music covers, quite often badly. Mr. Brightside by The Killers.
This is a classic. I mean, just any time it comes on at a club, I will be running straight to that dance floor. It doesn't matter where I am, smoking area, toilets, wherever, I will leg it onto the dance floor and I will scream along to it. I mean, it helps. It doesn't even really have a second verse. It just repeats the first verse.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know every single word?
Probably not by now, but like after a few drinks, I do know every word for some reason.
It's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah, it unlocks a part of your brain, I think, where just Mr. Brightside is just hidden away as such.
I agree with you. I think, like, if you said to somebody, tell me the lyrics to Mr. Brightside, like in an interview or whatever, they go, no, I can't do it. But as soon as you like listening to it and singing with a load of other people in a club or whatever, it's like, oh, I do. I know every single word to that.
It's the coming out of my cage and I'm doing just fine. Yeah, but then can't sing the rest of it. I need that atmosphere.
You need all of that. What about that kind of line? I'm coming out of my cage. I mean, you know, that obviously speaks a little bit to you as well. Really?
Yeah, I would say so. I may realize I listened to a song way before my own self-discovery, but maybe it was always there. Well, it is always there as such. Yeah. It just also it speaks to me in terms of like when I first started going like out and enjoying myself. I was always a very like kind of closed off individual beforehand. I'd say I was maybe I'm not sure nerdy is the right word, but I wouldn't really go out as such. I kind of just spend all my time like indoors. Then I started discovering going out, and that song was always playing in the club. So kind of have like coming out of my cage. I'm doing just fine, and enjoying myself.
Oh no, what a great song. You couldn't get past all of this today without having a Lewis Capaldi song, could you?
No.
It just had to be in there. Why Before You Go?
It's just one which I don't know. So that recently I'm actually on the BBC Glastonbury coverage singing along to this one. Like it cuts to my face.
Hey!
So you see Lewis and then it cuts to me singing, well, screaming, I think, more Before You Go. I'm not sure I can quite hit the notes the same as he can. But it could have been any number of Lewis songs, to be fair. It could have been Someone You Loved. His new song is Survivor is very good as well.
It's brilliant, yeah. Very,
very good. But it's just him as a singer like speaks to me, I would say. It's just I think I posted on my Instagram about this as well in terms of like 2 years ago I was in like a very bad place, and was when Lewis Capaldi unfortunately had his moment on the Glastonbury stage. And then when he completed his set 2 years later, I felt like I'd made a big difference in myself as well in those 2 years. It made me like very reflective. Because I'd been through a lot of therapy by that point. I tried to repair bridges with people after basically things just went really badly for me for a while. And then I did the show as well at that time. And so when I saw him finish the set last week, it just reminds me of how far I've come. And I got really emotional watching it. And that's probably why I look emotional as I'm singing Before You Go as well in that footage.
It's also a saying that people say to people just before they disappear from, their kind of immediate lives. So I just wonder what did maybe someone from your family say to you just before you went to the island, and what did somebody that you'd met on the island say to you just before you left the island?
Okay. So my family were very supportive of me going on the show. More so than they thought I was getting on the show before I thought I was getting on the show. Really. Right. They kind of called me, and with all love to them, they called me the ultimate virgin. Basically, they thought, oh well, of course you're going to get, you're kind of like the ultimate virgin. And so they were very supportive. And once I actually got the phone call saying, oh yeah, we would like you to travel and do a show with us, they were like, yay,
obviously.
TV. They basically just said enjoy it as well.
That's lovely.
It's a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make the most of it.
Your mum didn't say something like, oh, you got your toothbrush, Thomas, or
I think probably did, to be fair.
Yeah, there you go.
Then someone on the show before I left. I'm going to think, because the thing is though, whilst we did say goodbye to everyone, the cast members, we then did weekly calls afterwards. So it's kind of like we didn't really ever say goodbye to each other. We just kept talking afterwards. I think what we did say to each other though is just remember this experience and remember how you feel now. Like, because we were aware that like once you finish filming a show, you do get the end of show blues is the thing. and where you just think back, oh, did I make the most of it? And all these sort of thoughts go through your head. But you just got to remember like how you felt in that moment, that you felt on top of the world. I remember being so grateful in that final ceremony where I wanted to thank the therapist. I did, but my speech was actually a lot longer, but I just couldn't make it through the first couple of lines because I was just breaking down. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I just kind of sat down afterwards.
Oh, Thomas. Well, you made us all cry as well.
Oh.
Now, listen, the next song, a Taylor Swift song.
Yes.
Love Story. What A, why, and then B, what was your love story on the island?
Ooh, okay. So the reason I chose Love Story by Taylor Swift is firstly, I remember I talked about a few artists I listened to on the show. So I think I mentioned Capaldi, ABBA, and then Taylor Swift. And Love Story in particular, I don't know, I'm very much a hopeless romantic, let's say. I love all this sort of stuff. But there's that trend of marriage proposals where you'd watch Taylor perform this song, and then
oh yes,
they get down on their knee, and then the partner will turn around and see them proposing. I don't know, it's just a song which can bring that much joy that people want to propose to it. I don't know, it just fills me with happiness and warmth, this song. And yeah, I just have to have it on repeat sometimes. Like it will finish and I'll play it again because I don't know, I need that feel good energy. And then my love story on the island, I would say I didn't go onto the island to perhaps find a partner. It was more, I did want to focus on myself. But I did have a crush on somebody on the island, I will say. Right. But in the end, I kind of realized they had more chemistry with someone else. And it's like, in that scenario, you can't be upset, really. You just got to be like happy for them, really. And so I was. And yeah, after the island, I mean, now I'm still trying to find a partner on Tinder and all that and such. But I feel more optimistic about my love story now.
Oh, well, we wish you all the best in that pursuit of love. You know, but just go. But in the meantime, just go out and continue to be Thomas, right, and enjoy yourself. You know, that's the main thing. It looks like you're having a great time out there, anyway. And then you turn everything down for the last song.
Yeah,
this is kind of almost the antithesis of Love Story, On My Own.
Yes,
Les Mis, sung by Samantha Barks.
Yeah,
are you a musical fan? You a big musical fan?
I'm a massive musical fan. To be fair. So when I was thinking of my guilty pleasure song, it could have been a number of things. But the thing is, I don't really feel a lot of shame when I listen to stuff because I just enjoy most things. But I was thinking, what probably wouldn't you cue at a party? As such, would be like keep the vibes up. So say Mr. Brightside, yeah, cue that at a party. You wouldn't then do On My Own from Les Mis to keep the vibes up. So that's why I picked it. But I do love this song.
Although I don't know. I think this is kind of a 3 o'clock in the morning. You've all had too much, you're all zonked out, and someone goes, put that on, and you all sit there and you start crying.
Yeah. We've all had a few by that point. We're all feeling the emotions.
The scar running. Yeah.
Also, I think another reason why I might put it is because I've made a lot of progress after the island. I no longer feel shame for being like a virgin or being alone as such. Meanwhile, I used to listen to this song a lot, almost like a lot of self-pity in a way. But the thing is, the song's still good even after I've gone through this journey. So perhaps maybe it doesn't have the same impact as before, but now it has a different sort of impact where now I can just enjoy the song for what it is.
And perhaps you feel stronger on your own now, which is an important part of being able to be in relationships as well, isn't it? That you're more comfortable if you are on your own. Yeah,
exactly. Because like if you don't have confidence in yourself and you don't love yourself, no one else will really like want to be with you as such. It's just because they don't on someone who doesn't have confidence in themselves. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Thomas, you've been an absolutely fantastic guest.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. And I said that I'd tell you as well what song Spotify decided to put on playing after On My Own. So I'm going to show you that now, very quickly. Okay. Thomas doesn't know, but I'm going to share a screen with him so that he can see. It decided to go straight into Bamboo by Heinz.
Oh,
which is really quite odd. I mean, as I say, really enjoy it as a song. Yeah. Maybe it's because the only thing I can think of. Maybe it's because it is from the album "Leave Me Alone."
Oh, there's
the kind of strange connection.
I have to add it to my playlist now as well.
There you go. There we go. We're going to leave it there. Folks, this has been the wonderful Thomas from Virgin Island. Thanks, Thomas, for coming in and sharing with us today. And you can listen along to Thomas's favourites and maybe, talk to him on the Instagram, whatever, about what your favourite songs are as well. He'd love to have a conversation. He loves music. He'd love to have a conversation with you about music and all things good like that as well. So thank you for watching, folks. And I hope you've enjoyed this special version of my music. We hopefully might get some more people from the island on soon. We're trying to nudge them in the background. There are a few more that have said that they're interested. Thomas might give some a nudge afterwards. Maybe I'll see you at another Glastonbury sometime. 2 years now, isn't it?
2 years, yeah.
So we start now, and I hope that will happen. Hope you've enjoyed this special edition of My Music. If you have, please do go share with your friends and family. Catch up with Thomas and his podcast playlist as well at mymusicpodcast.com. We will be back soon with more of the same. But until then, from Thomas and myself, bye-bye.